Welcome, my friend.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the channel. In today's episode, I'll be doing a what if scenario, and that is, what if Thrawn and the Chiss Ascendancy join the Rebel Alliance? Before we begin, if we get to 50,000 subscribers before Christmas, I'll be doing a console giveaway. If you want a PS5 or an Xbox X, just drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and drop a comment below. Thrawn stood aboard the bridge of his Chiss warship, the Bloodveil, staring out at the vastness of space. The distant stars glimmered like jewels on a dark canvas, a sight that had always filled him with a sense of purpose. Thrawn, a master tactician of the Chiss Ascendancy, had recently encountered the fledgling Rebel Alliance. He had observed their struggle against the oppressive Galactic Empire, and while the Ascendancy had long maintained a stance of isolation from galactic affairs, recent developments have made Thrawn reconsider. The Chiss Ascendancy valued stability above all else, but Thrawn knew that the Empire's brand of order was one of fear and tyranny. It was not the stability that would safeguard the Chiss or the galaxy at large. As he evaluated the strategic landscape, he recognized that the Rebel Alliance, though disparate and under-resourced, represented the only real opposition to the Empire. Thrawn was not motivated by a desire for power or conquest, but by a cold, calculating logic that pointed to one truth. If the galaxy was to avoid falling into an endless cycle of darkness under Imperial rule, the rebellion needed to succeed. With a deep breath, Thrawn made his decision. He would approach the Rebel Alliance and offer them not just his allegiance, but the full support of the Chiss Ascendancy. In the hidden base on Yavin 4, the Rebel Alliance leadership gathered in a hastily convened meeting. Mon Mothma, Bail Organa, and General Dan Dodonna were present, their faces etched with concern as they discussed the latest Imperial offensive. The door to the war room opened, and Commander Ahsoka, operating under the codename Fulcrum, entered with a mysterious figure by her side.
Ahsoka, who is this man?
This is Mithrao Nuruodo. His core name is Thrawn. He's a representative of the Chiss Ascendancy.
Gasps and murmurs spread throughout the room. Thrawn was a name that had been whispered in fear and respect throughout the galaxy, a brilliant strategist who had served the Chiss Ascendancy and was known to be a formidable force.
Thrawn has come to offer his assistance, and not just his, but that of the entire Chiss Ascendancy.
The room fell silent. Bail Organa stepped forward.
Why would the Chiss Ascendancy ally with us? What do you gain from this?
Thrawn's voice was calm and measured as he replied.
The Ascendancy does not seek to rule the galaxy, Senator Organa. Our interest is in maintaining order and stability. The Empire, while powerful, fosters instability through fear and oppression. We have calculated that, in the long term, the galaxy will fall into chaos under Imperial rule, which will inevitably spread to the unknown regions. The Ascendancy cannot allow that.
Mon Mothma studied him carefully.
And you believe the Rebel Alliance can provide this stability?
The Rebel Alliance offers the only viable alternative. While you may lack the resources of the Empire, you possess something far more valuable: principle and resolve. With the right strategic guidance and resources, you can succeed.
Mothma, Organa, and Dodonna exchanged glances. It was a bold offer, but the Rebel Alliance was in desperate need of allies and resources.
What exactly are you offering? The full support of the Chiss Ascendancy, our fleet, our soldiers, and my strategic command. Together, we can not only resist the Empire, but defeat it.
The Chiss fleet, sleek and advanced, arrived at the hidden rebel base within weeks. The Bloodveil and several other Chiss warships descended upon Yavin 4, their presence alone a testament to the power that Thrawn had brought to the rebellion. The ships were equipped with cutting-edge technology, including advanced cloaking devices and long-range sensors that far surpassed anything the rebels had at their disposal. Thrawn quickly integrated into the rebel command structure, working closely with leaders like Bail and Mon. His strategic mind was unmatched, and soon, the rebels were no longer just reacting to Imperial targets, they were anticipating them. One of Thrawn's first acts was to secure a series of Chiss hyperspace routes unknown to the Empire. These routes allowed the rebel fleet to move swiftly and undetected across the galaxy, striking Imperial targets where they least expected it. Supply lines that had once been vulnerable were now secure, thanks to the Chiss ships patrolling these secret paths. Additionally, Thrawn introduced the rebel engineers to Chiss technology. Ascendancy. They began retrofitting X-Wings and Y-Wings with advanced shields and weaponry. The rebels also gained access to Chiss databanks, filled with intelligence on the Empire's movements and tactics. With this new influx of information and resources, the rebel fleet grew stronger, more cohesive. Thrawn's influence also extended to the ground forces. Chiss commandos, highly trained and disciplined, joined the ranks of rebel soldiers. They brought with them a wealth of experience in unconventional warfare, teaching the rebels new techniques in guerrilla tactics, sabotage, and intelligence gathering. Under Thrawn's guidance, the rebellion became a more formidable force, capable of taking on the Empire in both space and ground engagements. The first true test of this new alliance came at the Battle of Middo. The Empire, seeking to crush the rebellion once and for all, had launched a massive assault on the planet, a key financial hub for the rebellion. The rebels, despite their recent gains, were still outnumbered and outgunned. Thrawn, however, saw an opportunity. He had studied the art and culture of the planet, recognizing patterns in the way the Empire had fortified their positions. He developed a strategy that involved a multi-pronged assault, using the Chiss fleet to outflank the Imperial forces while rebel ground troops, guided by Chiss commandos, infiltrated key installations. The battle was fierce, with both sides suffering heavy casualties, but Thrawn's strategy paid off. The Imperial fleet, caught off guard by the Chiss maneuvers, was forced into a retreat. On the ground, the combined forces of the rebels and the Chiss commandos secured the planet's critical infrastructure, preventing it from falling into Imperial hands. The victory at Middo was a turning point. For the first time, the Rebel Alliance had won a major battle against the Empire, thanks in large to Thrawn's leadership. The success galvanized the rebellion, bringing in new recruits and support from across the galaxy. The Chiss Ascendancy, once seen as an enigmatic and distant power, was now a crucial ally in the fight against the Empire. But with this newfound strength came new challenges. The Empire, recognizing the threat posed by Thrawn and the Chiss, began to target them specifically. Imperial propaganda painted Thrawn as a traitor, a renegade who had turned his back on order and stability. Emperor Palpatine himself issued a decree, offering a reward for Thrawn's capture or death. The pressure on Thrawn and the Chiss Ascendancy grew, but so did their resolve. Thrawn knew that the fate of the galaxy depended on the success of the Rebel Alliance. He continued to push the rebels to think beyond conventional warfare, to use every advantage at their disposal. In the months that followed, the Rebel Alliance scored several key victories against the Empire. Thrawn's strategies, combined with the bravery and determination of the rebel forces, had turned the tide of the war. The Alliance was no longer just a collection of disparate cells fighting against overwhelming odds. They were now a cohesive and powerful force, capable of taking on the Empire in a full-scale war. The Chiss Ascendancy, though still protective of its sovereignty, had fully committed to the cause. Their support had not only bolstered the rebel fleet, but had also provided the Alliance with vital intelligence and resources. The Chiss, with their unique perspective and advanced technology, had become an integral part of the rebel war effort. As the war progressed, Thrawn revealed to the rebel leadership a secret weapon that the Chiss Ascendancy had developed, a powerful starship known as the Steadfast. The Steadfast was a Dreadnought-class warship, equipped with cutting-edge Chiss technology, including advanced cloaking systems and hypervelocity cannons. It was designed to be a game-changer, capable of taking on entire Imperial fleets single-handedly. Thrawn proposed using the Steadfast in a daring assault on the Imperial shipyards at Fondor, a key production facility for the Empire's Star Destroyers. The plan was risky, but if successful, it would cripple the Empire's ability to produce new warships, giving the Rebel Alliance a significant advantage. The operation was meticulously planned, with Thrawn overseeing every detail. The Steadfast would lead a small task force of Chiss and Rebel ships, using its cloaking technology to approach the shipyards undetected. Once in position, the Steadfast would unleash its devastating firepower, destroying the shipyards and any Imperial ships in the vicinity. The attack on Fondor was a resounding success. The Steadfast proved to be as formidable as Thrawn had promised, obliterating the Imperial shipyards and decimating the defending fleet. The loss of Fondor was a severe blow to the Empire, disrupting their production capabilities and forcing them to divert resources to defend other key installations. The victory at Fondor further solidified the alliance between the Chiss Ascendancy and the Rebel Alliance. It also elevated Thrawn's status within the rebellion. He he was no longer just an advisor. He was a key leader, respected by both the Chiss and the rebel forces. The Empire, reeling from its losses, was not about to let Thrawn and the Chiss ascendancy continue unchecked. Emperor Palpatine, enraged by the success of the Rebel Alliance, ordered a full-scale counterstrike. He would dispatch his most feared enforcer, Darth Vader, to lead the assault. Vader's mission was twofold: to crush the Rebel Alliance and to capture or kill Thrawn. Palpatine knew that Thrawn's tactical genius was a significant threat to his plans, and he was determined to eliminate him. The Empire's counterattack came swiftly and with overwhelming force. Imperial fleets launched coordinated attacks on multiple rebel bases, overwhelming their defenses and forcing the rebels to retreat. The Chiss ascendancy, despite their advanced technology, found themselves outnumbered and outgunned. Thrawn, however, was not easily defeated. He had anticipated the Empire's response and had prepared a contingency plan. As the Imperial forces closed in, Thrawn ordered the Rebel and Chiss fleets to fall back to a hidden stronghold deep within the unknown regions, a secret Chiss base that the Empire had no knowledge of. The retreat was executed with precision, with Thrawn personally overseeing the evacuation of key personnel and resources. The Empire, believing they had driven the rebels into hiding, claimed victory, but Thrawn knew that the war was far from over. From their hidden base in the unknown regions, Thrawn and the rebel leadership began planning their final gambit, an all-out assault on the Imperial capital of Coruscant. The plan was bold, almost suicidal, but Thrawn believed it was the only way to end the war once and for all. The Chiss fleet, reinforced by new ships and technology, would lead the assault. The Steadfast would spearhead the attack, using its cloaking systems to penetrate the Imperial defenses and strike at the heart of the Empire. The rebel fleet, supported by Chiss warships, would engage the Imperial forces in orbit, creating a diversion while a strike team infiltrated the Imperial palace to capture or eliminate Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader. The operation was launched with precision, catching the Empire off guard. The Chiss and rebel fleets fought with unmatched determination, their combined strength overwhelming the Imperial defenders. The Steadfast cut a path through the Imperial fleet, its hypervelocity cannons tearing through Star Destroyers like paper. On the surface of Coruscant, the strike team, led by Ahsoka and a group of elite Chiss commandos, infiltrated the Imperial palace. They fought their way through the Emperor's guards, reaching the throne room where Palpatine and Vader awaited them. The battle that ensued was intense, with Palpatine and Vader unleashing the full power of the dark side against the strike team. Vader stepped forward, his red lightsaber igniting with a menacing hum. Ahsoka's heart sank. She had faced Vader before on Malachor, and she knew how powerful he was. But this time, things were different. She wasn't here to kill him, she was here to save him. The two former Jedi clashed, their lightsabers flashing through the air with blinding speed. Ahsoka used her agility and knowledge of Anakin's fighting style to evade Vader's powerful strikes, but she could feel the weight of his attacks bearing down on her. As they fought, Ahsoka tried to reach the man beneath the mask.
Anakin, you don't have to do this. You can still choose to fight him.
Anakin Skywalker no longer exists.
Their lightsabers clashed again, sparks flying as the two combatants locked blades. Ahsoka could feel the conflict within Vader. She had sensed it during their last encounter, and now, standing here in the heart of the Empire, she could sense it more clearly than ever. The man who had once been her friend, her mentor, was still in there, buried beneath the mask of Darth Vader. As Ahsoka and Vader fought, Palpatine unleashed his fury on the Chiss commandos, his hands crackling with Sith lightning. Several of the commandos fell to the ground, their bodies withering in pain. Palpatine cackled with glee, reveling in the destruction. But Thrawn, watching the events unfold from the bridge of the Steadfast, remained calm. He had predicted Palpatine's arrogance, and he had prepared for this. Ahsoka, exhausted from the duel, finally saw an opening. She deactivated one of her lightsabers and reached out to Vader with the Force, her voice soft and filled with hope.
Anakin, I know you're still in there. You don't have to be his slave anymore. You can be free.
For a moment, Vader hesitated. The red blade of his lightsaber faltered, his grip loosening as memories of his past flooded his mind. He saw images of his time as a Jedi, of Obi-Wan, of Padme, of Ahsoka herself. The bond they once shared, master and apprentice, resurfaced. Slowly, the grip of the dark side on Vader began to weaken. In that moment, Vader's conflict reached its breaking point. He raised his lightsaber, and instead of striking Ahsoka, he turned on Palpatine. Palpatine, caught off guard by Vader's sudden rebellion, unleashed a torrent of lightning at his former apprentice. But Vader, fueled by the Force and his long-suppressed anger at Palpatine's manipulations, pushed through the pain. With a powerful strike, he severed Palpatine's connection to the dark side, driving his lightsaber through the Emperor's chest. The room fell silent as Palpatine's body crumpled to the floor, his life force extinguished. Vader stood over his fallen master, his breathing labored, his body broken from the lightning as he fell to the ground. Ahsoka approached him cautiously, her heart heavy. She could see that the man who had once been Anakin Skywalker was now free. With one final breath, Anakin Skywalker passed on. He was at last free from the chains of the dark side. With the liberation of Coruscant, the Galactic Empire was shattered. The Rebel Alliance, with the help of the Chiss Ascendancy, had won the war. The galaxy was free from the tyranny of the Empire, but the work was far from over. The Chiss Ascendancy, while still maintaining its independence, agreed to help the New Republic rebuild. The Ascendancy's resources and technology would be invaluable in restoring order to the galaxy. Under Thrawn's guidance, the rebel leaders began the process of forming a new government, one based on the principles of justice and equality. As the galaxy began to heal, Thrawn reflected on the path he had chosen. He had always been a servant of the Chiss Ascendancy. He had also become a key figure in the fight for freedom. His decision to join the Rebel Alliance had not been easy, but it had been the right one. The galaxy, now free from the shadow of the Empire, faced a new dawn. The Rebel Alliance, with the help of the Chiss Ascendancy, had not only survived, but thrived. The galaxy's future was uncertain, but with leaders like Thrawn guiding the way, there was hope for a better tomorrow. And that's the end of our story. I really hope you've enjoyed it. For me, Thrawn always stood out as one of the most brilliant and unique figures in the Star Wars universe. Unlike other Imperials who rely on brute force or fear, Thrawn uses his intellect, deep understanding of his enemies, and a true appreciation for art and culture to achieve victory. He's one of the few who can see the bigger picture and plan ahead, and that's what makes him so fascinating. In a galaxy where most Imperials are driven by power, Thrawn's motivations are rooted in loyalty to his people and a deeper cause. His presence in the Star Wars universe adds a layer of complexity and intrigue that's unmatched by anyone else. Whether he's working for the Empire or fighting for the Chiss Ascendancy, Thrawn shows us that strategy and intelligence are just as powerful as any weapon in the galaxy. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content. Be sure to check out my film channel, Pulley Productions, where I produce independent short films. We have a short film for the 48-hour film project coming soon, so stay tuned for that. Have a great day, my friends, and may the Force be with you.